What's up everybody? Santiago here with Rogue Van Company. We've got our latest build, the Rogue Stratos. I want to walk you through all our design decisions. We've got a full walkthrough tour. Let's hit it. So let's start with the front end. We've got this awesome Flatline Vanco high clearance bumper. This is probably my favorite bumper on the market right now. It's got really well designed sensor housings. You've got the Baja design driving light built in right here on the fairing. It works really well. You've got the bull bar. We can put LP9s or 6s or a similar light right here. And then we've got a good sized winch cradle, fits a Warren 12S or similar winch. And then we've got a really bulletproof sensor housing, so you're not gonna have a bunch of issues calibrating it. It's an awesome bumper. Moving forward, you have our XL80s on the ditch lights here. These are Van Compass mounts. We don't have a ton else going on with the front end. We have some suspension components to talk through, but realistically, we wanted to create something that was really rugged, but at the same time wasn't overbuilt for its purpose. The Rogue Stratos is a van that's going to go around town. It's going to go up to the mountains. It's going to take you wherever you want to go. The main thing is, though, you're not camping. This is about moving people and having a good time. So let's jump into the suspension. This van is fully kitted with our favorite suspension, the Van Compass 6.3 kit. We've got our Falcon Rally struts here. We've got our 35-inch Toyo AT3s. These are mounted to 17-inch Black Rhino Arsenal wheels. Van is obviously super lifted. It's really tall. It commands presence when it's on the road. As you can see, that's kind of a commonality here with a lot of our builds here at Rogue. We build big, tall vans with big tires. Why don't we head over to the rear and take a look at some of the suspension components we have there. In the rear, we've got our Falcon adjustable struts, shocks. We also have our double shear brackets. We have our bump stop extensions with upgraded bump stops front and rear. We have our OptiRate leaf pack, which is handling the weight in the rear. We also have Baja Design's rock lights on all 4 tires. You can see that with all of the spacing and the geometry, we've done a little bit of clearancing here to clear these 35s. But in general, you've got what looks like an aggressive, well-stanced van, but that's not over the top, which is a nice change from, you know, the crazy all-out vans that we normally do. This is a nice balance, I think, between sporty but classic. The rear end is probably where we have the most going on. Starting at the bottom, we've got the matching Flatline Van Company rear bumper. Love this bumper. Integrated Baja Designs S2 Sports. These trigger on reverse, so you have an automatic backup light. We've got our X-Bull rear carriers with the extension handle here, so you can open the door easily. I love this rear door setup. This is something we've been doing a lot lately. We've got the big old 35 in this custom tire carrier with this locking key, super secure. We've got our Owl Vans Expedition box in the full size. We've got the Monster box over here. We have the Backwoods fuel cell carrier up top. It's a big rear end. You've got a lot of storage here. I think it's rad. Up top you can see our S2 Pro spot surround lights over here. There's 2 on the back, 2 on either side on top of the rack, 1 on either side of the Fiamma F45S awning that we have mounted on the side there. You've got area lights where you can work in the back, you can work on the sides, and that's the rear. Rounding out our exterior, we've got our Flatline Vanco ladder paired with our Flatline Vanco flat rack. Nice, simple combination, gets the job done. Good place for us to mount our solar, good place for us to do our lighting mounts, you know, stuff like that, our flat mount Starlink. Again, this exterior is all about good on-road performance with a nice balance between an elegant and sporty exterior while not going way over the top. Man, I love this interior. So obviously we have our AMP research steps, makes it super easy to get in and get out. A lot going on with this interior. This is not any kind of layout we've ever done before. So you have driver and passenger. We've got a smart floor here, espresso teak flooring, which I think is rad. It's got a Rubio monocoat plus nano finish, so it's super durable. We have our smart floor seats that we've fully reupholstered to match the fronts. We also have aftermarket heating and cooling installed on the front seats. We've got storage compartments on the side. We've got dueling benches with an additional 4 seat belts installed back here. And the rear is a full bar, kitchen, shower, bathroom, kind of closet combo area. We've really made a really good use of the space. This is a really interesting floor plan. It's nothing we've ever offered before. This is serving, again, a customer that is kind of in more of a transportation, work arrangement. This is a van that would be really good for going to parties. It'd be good for going tailgating into events on long trips. This van really does a lot of stuff like in that vein. And that kind of underscores the idea that this is really not your overnight van. If we wanted to make this into a little bit more overnight friendly van, there's some variations on the floor plan that we can do so you could also sleep in it. Obviously, adding a rooftop tent would be pretty easy. There's a lot of different options there. But the point is, the van is not meant for overnight sleeping. It's much more of a work van. It's a lifestyle van. It's a van that's taking you and your friends, or if you were using it for work, you and your clients, whoever, on the road where you want to go in comfort and style. All right, guys, let's hop inside. So let's start in the rear of this multi-purpose kind of space. Now, I've seen this type of layout from a lot of different companies, especially kind of the more executive sort of lifestyle vans that you see advertised in like the Robb Report or the DuPont Registry. I've loved the concept. It's super useful. Having a space back here that can kind of serve all the different purposes. It can be a bathroom, it can be a kitchen, it can be a bar, it can be a space to prepare food, it can be a space to get your clothes changed. You've got a closet back here. And it sort of supports the multi-use idea of the front. And we wanted to create a van that had that kind of executive forward use case, but we wanted it to look good. I mean, we wanted it to perform well. We wanted it to be sexy. And so that's what created this van. And I have to say, I never imagined this type of interior coming from my background where we've built, full-time living campers. I never imagined us building a van like this, and I love it. Without further ado, let's talk through the features of the rear of this van. Let's start at the doors. You'll notice we've got our full upholstered interior door skins. They have little inlets cut in so that you can place things in them for storage. They're kind of an extension of our bar that we have here. Similar to our bar, we have bungees so that you can place objects. They won't move around or shift when you're driving. We've got these big 6.5-inch kickers from Audio Frog for our sound system. This cabinet right here houses our Laveo dry flush toilet, which deploys this way and has a built-in charger right there. We've got a little access port right here, which displays the fresh water and gray water tank levels, because the EcoFlow does not currently have that functionality, but they're coming out with that soon. It also gives us a service access to take a look at the water components for the shower. We've got a recessed built-in sink right here, 120 outlet and 4-stack USB, under cabinet lights like we always do on all of our upper cabs. We've got a smaller upper here. You'll notice that we have lots of hooks placed all throughout the van. That was because the owner of this van wanted us to put a bunch of hooks in different places so that they can strap things down. They have a lot of different access points. They can also use them to hook up their exercise bands. It's just nice to have hooks and to lash stuff down. I know that I'm personally pretty addicted to taking lots of things with me on the road, so it's always nice to have more points of connection. Moving over here, you can see we've got a half closet. This is a tall kind of top to bottom closet. We have access panels on both of these sides so that we can service the heating system, we can service the plumbing system. We've got these nice half hangers. They fold in half. We didn't want to take up too much of the aisleway right here, obviously, with a really deep closet, which is why we do the half hanger style right here. We've got a light that's motion activated inside of the closet on this side. Shifting over to this side, we have our built-in bar. Again, there's bungee cords top and bottom. The idea here is you'd have cups. Down here you have your bottles, or you can have smaller bitters. We've got this sort of set up for some shots of tequila, some cigars. We've got a charging port station here that pops up from the countertop. We've got our overhead light solutions there, our under cabinet lights. Over here we have a bank of 4 drawers with airline latches, full extension on all of them. Really, really tight, nice, neat reveals and faces. We've got our refrigerator here. Upper cabinets on either end with our traditional Blum hinges. We've got our Furion microwave, air fryer, convection combo right here. And that's what we have going on in the rear. It's a dynamic kind of multi-use space. I'm a pretty big guy and I still manage to fit in here all right. I'd say if you wanted to do different configurations back here, there's a lot of possibilities, but when you decide that you want to fully partition the front from the rear, it really starts to open up the possibilities of what you can do. Stepping outside the van, we've got a little bit better look. You can see we've got our shower wand here, nice little hook to hold the shower wand. This is our pan. This is an in-floor pan. It sits right into our espresso teak. We've got our matching pan insert. When you want to remove this to take a shower, you just pop it in like that. We've got our shower pan right here. One of the nice things too is that we always do toe kick heaters. So there's a toe kick heater right here as well as up front. That evenly distributes the Rixon's radiant heating that we provide this van with. And that's what we got going on in the rear shower. So starting kind of midship at the benches, matching benches, we've got this awesome black piping, kind of caramel leather with the micro perforations, the double diamond stitch that you see on all the chairs, all matches. Got our lap belts, 2 here, 2 on this side. The van in total seats 4 on the bench, 2 in the captain's, 2 in the front, 8 total. On the entertainment tip and vibe that we kind of have going on, we've got lots of stainless steel cup holders that are built into the walls. They're built into the fronts of the benches. They're at various points all throughout the van. We also have built-in cup holders over on the other side in front of the window. The continuity of textures and colors is really pronounced in this area. You've got the lighting that stays consistent throughout all of the various LED strips that we have integrated everywhere. The black traceless, that ultra matte material that we use for the lagoon table and for all the cabinet bodies. We've got our triple finish cedar here on the walls as well as on the ceiling. And we did a couple different adjustments here. We have our upper cabinets, which we actually ended up making a little bit shallower than normal. Motion activated lights. This is our normal depth upper. We wanted to make this space full and complete. We wanted to have a nice table here, which can also click down and form a day bed. But remember, this is really not about sleeping. This is more about entertaining. The idea being if you wanted to have your family or your friends, or you wanted to kind of jet down the road, you know, you could jump in here with a bunch of people. You could go to a concert. You could go out to dinner. You could do whatever you want to do, and you've got a really comfortable place to do it. That's the kind of bench and captain's chair seating flow that we have here. Now let's take a look inside these benches and see what we did. This is our passenger side bench, which is typically where we put our power components. This is obviously a much smaller bench than we're used to working with. We still managed to fit a full 10 kilowatt hour EcoFlow system. We've got this boxed out half of the front wheel well. We've got our little power panel here. We have a bunch of service things here for when we have the van in for service behind the bench back. We've got our 2 big 5 kW batteries. We have our distribution hub, our on-off switch, which is easily accessed. It's tight, but it works, and it's a lot of power. Over on the driver's side, we have a really open bench. There's not a lot going on in here. We have our full Rixon system. We have one of our toe kick style heaters on this side, our mixing valve. We've got our half boxed out forward wheel well box. The rest of it's totally open for storage, which is really nice. Plumbing system here kind of lives 50% in the back, 50% right here. This is obviously all the heating components for the shower and for the sink. But it's neat and tidy, and it kind of gives you an easy access if you want to store stuff in here. We've got our L-track, which is mounted into the face of these plates here on the benches. We've got L-track on the floor. There's a lot of tie-down points in here, which I think is really cool. This is a multi-use, multi-purpose van. You know, you're not necessarily going to be spending the night in it, but you're going to be doing a lot of other things. And so we've kind of given the user the ability to sort of create their own adventure in terms of storage and how they're going to haul stuff. So one of the cool entertainment aspects of this van is the projector screen behind me. We went through a couple different iterations on this one. We originally had a 32-inch TV pocketed into that bulkhead. We just really weren't happy with how blocked off it made the space. So we settled for a projector. We could have done a drop-down TV. I'm a little bit dubious of those. I think that the mounts for the drop-down TVs create a lot of noise. We wanted to make something that would be pretty quiet on road, but would still give us a decent-sized viewing screen. If you wanted to cast, get your laptop going, use it as a mobile workstation, or just hang out in between meetings and watch a movie. So that's the mobile projector. You can also see that up there we've got our secondary audio system, which controls all of the speakers in the back. It also controls all the speakers in the front because it has a slave cylinder. It's really cool. This is a nicely rounded kind of entertainment style thing that we have going on here. And this is a great example of how we created something kind of new that we haven't done before and integrated into this build. So one of the coolest things about the projector is the fact that it has a magnetic mount. I can grab it off of the ceiling. This is a rechargeable projector. And then when I go to charge it in the upper cabinet, I have a second mount that I can stick this to with an outlet pocketed inside where I can charge it up and it can be stowed there permanently. When I want to go and use the projector, I just grab it, put it in the mount up top, center it, and I'm good to go. The whole cockpit has been fully reupholstered. We've got upholstered dash, we've got upholstered A pillar, B pillar, headliner, overhead in-cab shelf. Everything matches. I think it looks really good. I really like the feeling it creates. All of our window trims, all of our cushions, just everything, you know, exactly the same. We've got our iPad here, which has all of the programs for this van. You can control a lot of things just from this place, including the EcoFlow app, so you can access all of your digital switches. We've got our S-Pod controller here and our 3D printed Terra X mount. This is on their Navidoc Overland system. Let's kind of move sort of in a little bit towards this area, talk about some things that we have going on. One of the things our customer wanted us to do was to install a dog gate. I think that this is a really creative solution for this issue. You've got a super easy gate. It's nice, it's flush, it's trim, doesn't interfere with the seats. You could even have it open like this and you could sit behind it. Really easy to use. We kind of went back and forth on a couple different designs here. We thought that we could maybe do one out of wood. We thought maybe we'd do one out of metal. We ended up doing this one with this retractable kind of mesh, which is really similar to the Rec Pro door that we did to isolate the rear area. Of course, over here we have this little built-in shelving area that's uplit, so it kind of like casts light on all the items that you can put in here. We have a charging bank down there for passengers to use so they can charge their phones or devices. What I wanted to create in this area was just kind of a nice little storage cubby system. So, you know, all the little things that you need on the road. You know, I just really like the way all the colors come together. So many different tones and textures repeated throughout this build. It's super captivating when you're inside. All the honeys and the caramels from the cedar and from the leather, the black espresso teak floors, the matte black cabinetry, the exposed polished Baltic birch edges. Everything just really comes together nicely. We've got our thick tufted window covers. You know, I think that visually this is probably one of my favorite vans we've ever done. And the repetition of everything just creates a mood or a feeling that feels elegant and bold and refined. So guys, this has been a tour of the Rogue Stratos. Hope you enjoyed it. We've got a lot of awesome stuff coming later this year. We've got a ton of stuff happening for SEMA. We have 5 vans going this year. It's gonna be really cool. Stay tuned. And don't forget to mark your calendars for October 2nd, our big Rogue open house. Everyone's invited. Bring your rig. It's gonna be a great time.